I'm just waiting for it. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to L&L Diamond Painting. I'm Lee. Even though you can't hear it very well because we don't have microphones. So she'll be crossing in front of the camera here in just a second. So don't be surprised.
If I fall in his lap.
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
Here we are.
Well,
So yes, there's Lenore,
with me
and there she is crossing in front.
and being late.
We're a little late. We're all a little late. We do have a guest today. He will be here shortly. He will not be on camera, just so that everybody knows. And he is my brother John. Yeah, I know you'd be here, Tammy. Judith, hello. Terry, I saw you up there saying hello, so hello to you. Thank you for the hearts, as always. It is appreciated.
Definitely.
Today, of course, as we know, is the more serious side of L&L Diamond Painting, for the most part, which is the caregiver support or caregivers venting space.
That's true too.
Whichever it may be. Oh, Francis.
Oh.
So anyway, sorry about that. I'm just trying to see what Little is doing because I'm being nosy. Trying to open your bring him a drink. Your YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So anyway, one of the things I did want to mention that I thought about actually last night, because I think throughout the week, what the hell, throughout the month, what am I going to talk about? One of the things that I want to talk about is on the side of the person being cared for, which is be patient with acceptance, especially for people who have not had to rely on someone to caregive for them. The reason I was thinking about it, especially last night, is because I was thinking I'm getting to the point where when I get dressed, now I can get dressed by myself, but with the exception of like my socks. I can't lift my leg high enough to be able to put my own socks on. And the fact that one foot I can't bend because of the rod that's through the ankle, I can't, use one of those devices that, you can put the sock on it and then pull it up. I can't use that. But so Lenore has to do it for me. And for the longest time, it's like, no, I can do it myself. No, I can do it myself. And then I get aggravated because I couldn't do it myself. So I ended up having to go to Lenore and say, hey, can you do this for me?
And I said,
No, she didn't. One of the other things is, like for my pant legs, one of my pant legs, because I can't bend that foot, every now and then I have to have her, pull the leg up past my foot so I can pull my pants up. So you gotta, when you're a caregiver, you gotta have patience with that because, if they're, huh? No, yeah, I mean, when they've had independence their entire lives, especially later in life when things happen, like in John's position. Spicy Daddy.
oh,
Hello, Angel.
hi, Angel.
But
Good dear.
especially when it's later in life, it's that much harder because of the fact that I don't think so.
Oh,
You shouldn't have it.
Oh, I should.
No,
I can hear you. And
they should be able to hear you. You can't turn your sound up. You can turn your microphone on, but you can't turn your sound up because if you turn your sound up, it's gonna echo. Never mind.
never mind.
It's a mute button, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
It is?
Yeah, but this is more of a serious live there, Angel. So keep that in mind.
And maybe not today, but she'll get you.
Oh, he still gets hers eventually anyway. But anyway,
Hi, Adam.
hey, Adam. But
You're rich.
where was I now?
You were talking about you both were-
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
about
can
being
find it
later in life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to give you some sort of background, we moved down here 8 years ago, maybe 9. We moved him in with us after the first year, I think it was. 2 months. Okay, well that's yeah.
Oh.
Adam. I said that I'll say the same thing to you that I said to Angel. This is a more serious life, so.
She said,
But wait till next Tuesday. You know, then you can actually say, "See you next Tuesday." But anyway, enough of the humor. Anyway, we moved him in several months after we moved down here. Originally, he had a diagnosis, which was a misdiagnosis, I should say, cancer. He had cancer, but it wasn't malignant. Said he had when they operated. They said it wasn't anything. Still tough. But at any rate, other than that, we also, so of course he didn't have much else, so we just kept him here since then. So he's been with us since, and
we
then
love him.
yeah, I suppose. I don't know why, but we do. But other than that, I mean, he's gone through his share of home on a handbasket stuff, getting sores on his foot, back and forth into the hospital several times. You all know that because you've all been listed through that. Having nursing services and home health aides and whatnot come in for him. He's still, for the most part, independent, and once he gets used to his limb, he will be more independent. But for the time being, we are caregivers.
What's that? Well, not compared to what you were.
No, not compared to what you
You
were, but
still try
you
to
know.
do stuff, so that makes you independent.
Once you get used to that limb, I mean, look at the people that are athletes that are running.
I know.
So
Well, he won't be running.
no, he won't be running. He wouldn't be running anyway.
He might, depending on what's chasing him.
Yeah, my brother's a fighter. But I'm sure for him, and he'll tell you himself, I'm sure, having to go from fully independent to even partially dependent sucks.
A lot. Especially when you have to actually pain in the butt. It's a lot of help you do something. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun, that's for sure. But you are, like I said, once we get this issue fixed, you'll be back to walking up again, and you know, huh? What? I know it's crooked.
Yeah, it looks like it's mostly on.
Oh no, it's back. It's on the all the way to the back.
That's big brother talking to little brother.
It's just the way my head. You know me. I'm always crooked.
Lopsided.
But this hat was Dad's anyway. So. But so
You did.
I'm getting there. Angel says, stay strong. You got this. Everybody cares for you.
It says, "Hey John, you just want to say you're amazing and inspiring." And that was going
Because
energizing.
you haven't given up.
No,
You know how many people give up after a while? Especially with all the shit you went through. You had what? Almost a year where you were in the hospital with an infection every other month.
Yeah.
4 infections in a row.
And then and before that, your misdiagnosis with
The cancer.
no,
Yeah, that too.
and the kidney.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was.
You know, they operated on him, took part of his kidney out, and then they said, "Oh, it was nothing. We made a mistake." Yeah. And unfortunately, because it's the VA, you can't fight that. I don't think there's a lawyer in the world that would take that case.
Do it.
No, you can. You can. They can sue. You have to find the right lawyer who's willing to go and sue them.
Yep. And that's the
Well,
hard part.
win, but you can at least sue them.
You can accept it.
Yep. Trust me, John, your story is helping others. And it's true. Even the slightest little bit, it always helps. You know?
You know, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Really, really tired.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of being in this fucking chair.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, like I said, once you get used to that leg and, everything comes up, everybody loves the leg, by the way. They think it's so cool you got a dragon on your prosthetic.
Tired of being in pain.
Yeah.
A lot of us relate to that.
Yeah, but I live on pain.
Yeah.
I live on it. 180 purchases a month. 45 allotted a month. I don't have them.
Nope. And he's been through this for quite some time. He's had one knee replaced. His back is all messed up. Okay, give the man a hug. I'm afraid I'll break his spine.
Sorry.
Yeah, no more Kennedy crunch.
No.
Not even with the wife. I couldn't take it either.
For those of you that don't remember, because I did tell this story one time, we used to put one of my aunts or my mother between the two of us, and then him and I would hug each other tightly. We called it the Kennedy crunch.
And how tall were you, dear?
I was probably 6'2" at the time. He's 6'6". Yeah, he was about 6'6",
That's
6'7".
and how tall was your mother?
5'3" and a half. God forbid you forget that half. But
I bet, Kaylee, I bet it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. She broke her spine.
Yeah.
Fucking painful.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, they should know I'm not. I don't have a filter.
Trust me. Given me, yeah, they know that I'm not too scared. I'm not too scared of losing anything. Unless YouTube says, up too much language. Yeah,
I
well,
don't think you're ever gonna hear that from YouTube.
No.
I doubt it.
Oh, she's still in recovery.
There are some things that you can't say on YouTube anymore.
Okay, Lean, I hope you're feeling a bit better though. She had emergency surgery.
Bonjour, Melanie.
Yep.
You know, but he's been going through this latest thing that he's gone through with his leg and his foot has been,
Fucking hell.
yeah, and just over a year. You know, it progressed rather quickly, and it finally got to the point where it's like, you know, you're not going to be able to fix it. Take it.
Spent Thanksgiving alone in a rehab.
Yep. No family Thanksgiving, no family weekends, no family anything for the longest time.
No fans.
You know,
We tried.
You couldn't come all the way there, so it's over an hour away. I wouldn't expect you.
no worries, Adam. I'll get family, but what the hell are they going to do? Sit there and tell you to go screw yourself?
Would.
Yeah, well,
Hard.
yeah, not this family unit.
Oh, no, because there's something that we have to talk about.
And we never mind.
Never mind.
I don't want to know.
We won't get into that.
You say,
But yeah, it's not it can't be easy. You know, and I know it can't be easy. That's why when things get aggravating, you know, you got to have a little bit of, okay, he's just aggravated about this or aggravated about that. So just, you know, because I do the same thing. I get aggravated about something. Leave me alone. So, you know,
What you think you want? You should call your brother.
no, I learned it more from Dad. You know, but oh, okay. You know, like I said, it's not easy, especially just that. I'm his younger brother.
question,
So far, they haven't. But that's just it. I'm his younger brother. You know? So now he's not dependent on me, but he hates having to ask me for things.
yes, because I'm dependent on both of you.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Just saying I'm not, I know fuck well I am. I
Well,
have to be.
Not completely. You know, it's a 50-50 deal. You know, what I can't do, she does. You know? Yes.
Feeling in the warm.
Well, I have a bit of a too, Jack. This is a lot of stuff I can't do anymore. I don't have a missing leg, but I'm getting older and I'm paying 99% of the day.
So am I. I can't drive
I know.
yet.
No, but you will.
Can't walk.
Yes. But you will.
Can't get out of the bed in time to go to work.
You know, and that's the whole other point, you know, is the fact that because of what's going on with him, he can't get up and do things like he used to as far as going to the bathroom or anything like that. He did just say, I don't know if you heard him, he did just say, does anybody have any questions? So if you have any, feel free to pop them up and I'll, you know, whenever he decides to answer.
Judith
No.
made a comment. I'd like to read it. My aunt always tells me she's sorry. I have to do things, sorry, I have to do things for her. I'm not. I'd rather do these things than not have her at all.
It's a nice thing.
It is. It's special.
Elizabeth said that I think she's speaking to us,
What?
saying, thank you for doing this. As a full-time caregiver myself, it helps knowing that we are not alone. Well, no, you're not. And neither, by the way, are any of you that are being cared for. You know, you can always chime in here as well. You know, but so anything goes pretty much here. But yeah, it's not easy, as you just heard my brother say. It's not easy to ask for help. You know, when you have the mindset like we all do, I'm the oldest. I shouldn't have to be taken care of by my younger brother or sister or sibling or whatever. You know, or my sister-in-law in this case.
To me, if I've been independent my entire life,
Right.
and I lost my independence in 24 hours.
Yep.
In 24 hours, I became independent.
Did they tell you what to expect when you had that done?
No,
Did they suggest any kind of
no,
help? That's. Because none of us would have known either.
No. Yeah, and we should have been told, you know, here's what to expect from the patient. You know?
I really think they don't concern themselves with that.
Is that from the patient?
You think there's send somebody in who knows the situation.
Yep.
Even another amputee would have been something.
Tammy said it's very hard to ask for help. She said,
Extremely difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, she had to do it her whole life because of them. Muscular dystrophy.
Really hard.
Yeah, it is. You know, and the
Really,
yes, I can see where that would be. My funny thing is the fact that I can see where it would be, but my attitude is, don't worry about it. It is what it is.
I'm sure that's what you keep saying.
You know,
get him with the set of one of these things.
you know, and it's so it's a sort of a
I can go get you something. And you two can have
doesn't know what it is.
You keep trying to sell that too.
it. Yeah, it's good for
Yeah.
you. Um,
Not peanut butter jelly either.
no, I wasn't gonna say that. There's still some meatloaf. Added to meatloaf, too. Like, I can make you Friday sandwiches.
Okay.
Okay,
There you go.
can you two handle this by myself without?
I can handle it by myself. I can handle it with him. I can, you know.
I say you can handle it all by yourself. Really. Send it back.
Do you,
Oh, sorry. I just noticed it was on there.
That's over.
do you want to use my thing? Oh, no, because they can see you, never mind.
No.
No,
No.
I'm gonna go get you two Friday sandwiches on English muffin.
I told you guys I would talk to them. I wanted to, but I'm not going to see.
I know,
No.
but that's you're worse than my
I'm
blood
being
brother.
forgetful. What?
You're asking for it. Hold this.
I think
Jack, you're paying for it.
Yes, I have an older brother that throws me under the bus too.
Oh, yeah. Just
Yeah.
now, can you move some of your feet?
I move my feet.
Yeah, mostly all of.
Say hello to Lenore's hips. You should have the mic from camera. Anyway, now that that's done, she went to get Jack something to eat. Who's what? That?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm off to this camera here, so. What? Yeah, you don't know how it was done.
You mean how this tattoo got on there?
Well, that, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great till this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some issues with the prosthetic this morning. But
It's gonna fuck up my Monday too.
what they do is they come in, they take measurements of the limb and the thumb and design it around that.
First, they put a sprinkler. They put a sprinkler, what's called a sprinkler.
Yeah.
And that supports the swelling to go down. That lasts for 3 weeks. Then they come in and they start taking measurements, coming in with a great prosthetic, I guess you could call it,
Mock up.
a mock-up prosthetic, thank you. And then they measure all that out. Then 2 weeks later, they come back with a prosthetic.
As a matter of fact, they came back earlier than they thought they were going to have to. But they took a pair of his pants, his lounger pants, cut off the design that's on the pants and put it on the prosthetic. And then, of course, covered it in resin.
What? Yeah, that was my idea. I wanted to put the dragon on.
Yep.
I wanted it to be different. Oh, what you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragons and wolves.
Eagles and raptors. Eagles, well, yeah, wolves, but more eagles, hawks, you know, that kind of thing. I showed them your thing at one point.
Huh? That's fine.
I showed them your wolf at one point.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, your wolf, my eagle.
I love my wolf.
And some, yeah, I think I also showed them some of your dragons.
Oh, I wish you did. Because I got to clean those.
They were clean at the time.
Oh,
But yeah, it was fast, Tammy. It was very fast. Judith, what did she ask? Were you the kind of person that didn't like asking for help before your medical issues?
I never liked that.
I can attest to that. You know, he never was. But yeah, by all means, people, ask questions. My problem is I live with it, so I know all the answers. It's kind of tough coming up with, well, what is this and what is that? And yada, yada, yada. But yeah, it was Tammy, it was a fast process, a little bit faster than we thought. But now the problem is, for some reason or other, the prosthetic was going on well every day. And for some reason or other, it won't click in. Because on the sleeve that he puts on, at the end of the sleeve, there's a small, almost like a spike type of thing. And it clicks into the base of the prosthetic and then goes from there. But for some reason or other, yesterday he had a little bit of a hard time doing it, but it did get done. And then today, it won't click at all. Hold on just a second, guys. There you go, no problem. Yes, the noise you're about to hear, or Jack trying to put his prosthetic on. But so we're not sure what's going on with that. It's almost as if it's turned a little bit.
It's turned to such a package. I think we get the breakdown.
Sorry, we're just trying to get his leg on. That won't do any good. That's solid enough. The worst part about it is standing up, you can't even do it. I wonder if your stomach is swollen a little bit. Well,
But that looks like it turned a lot more.
yeah. I'll show you again. Dragon. Bright green-eyed dragon. They like these things.
Yeah, that's turned in too much.
Yeah.
That's why I won't pay.
I'm wondering if it was loose under at the bottom of it.
I think it was, because that seems to me to be turned in more than it was.
Oh,
Thanks, I can't get my limb all the way down.
the hell is that?
That's when they first amputated it,
Yeah.
he put the tape on there.
I mean,
It was the wrong tape,
yeah.
and it stuck to the skin. It adhered to the skin, so when they took it off, it took the
Bruised.
skin with it.
Yeah. There was a mark on his
You can show them that.
limb. I can't take the skin off. Hard to do. But let me see. Well, let me
Yeah,
see.
wait. I can. So they know what you're talking about. See that?
Yeah, right here. This is what we're talking about. That right there. That's where his leg was.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes he has it's painful sometimes for him to move that limb.
Well, the limb is painful.
Yeah. That's why I touched it very soft. But yeah, because of the fact I get very touchy with his leg because of the fact that every time he was turning around and doing something, it would bruise. And it wasn't because anything he did. It's just because his leg was that or his foot was that messed up, that sensitive. Didn't take much at all. So every time he comes by, I'm like, anything new? Everything okay? I'm constantly checking on him.
I developed a hole in my other foot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's closed up.
Yeah. That kind of worried me when you did that.
Worried me too, because I was afraid I lose another foot.
Yeah. That was my concern. What are we gonna have to do? Go through this all over again? But and that's the other thing you gotta be thinking about every now and then. Like, what happens if, you know? Right now, though, I think the most of the concern is the fact of trying to get him back to some semblance of relative normalcy. Because we know he'll be able to drive, whether it be by hand controls or by his left foot is the other story. You know? And of course, we'll have to see about putting a carrier on the back of the car or a wheelchair.
I'm accepting donations. No, I'm not. I was kidding.
I was just gonna say, be careful when you say that too loud with this community.
I'm just saying, I'm kidding.
But so yes, he was just kidding.
Water in me.
Yeah, because a lot of this, or a portion of it, VA is paying for. The other portion of it is through his own insurance and whatever he has to pay out for
We
that.
just paid like $8,000 for that leg.
Yeah, that one little leg that you just saw, $8,000. Hello, Morgana, the notorious NBA. Morgana Banana Hammock. And you still have to blame Shay for that one. That was her fault. He did it.
That's like,
They're going through the morning for the lunchtime menu. But like I said, there's not really much we have to do. You know, it's like help him make his bed. You know, he gets his own coffee, gets his own, for the most part, gets anything he wants out of the kitchen. You know, unless he has to cook it, and then Lenore will cook it for him, or she'll make sandwiches for him, like she is now.
I have to upgrade my room.
Eh. I may have to cancel mine, Morgana. We don't know yet.
Between what?
It's
What?
$125 copay
Oh,
for outpatient,
oh.
Yep. and it's on the 25th.
Why
Which
don't
is most of our medical stuff. Huh?
Tell them to admit it.
Well, I gotta talk to him. I'll talk to him on the 4th when I go in. Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of days before it kicks in. And I'd have to pay up to those days. And then after that, no cost.
I don't know more because they were gonna do mine outpatient. I told them I couldn't afford it, so he checked me into the hospital. I forget what that one was.
Well, like I said, I'll talk to the doctor on the 4th and see what he says.
Anybody can figure their way around it.
Yep. But you know, getting help sometimes is really tough, even for professionals or with professionals. You know, I mean, at one point in time, because Jack has transportation. One point in time, he called transportation to take him to an appointment, and he got there, and he called back, say, "Okay, I'm ready," and they left him sitting there for 3 hours, and wouldn't get back to him. You know,
3 fucking hours.
but you know, so even professional help in whatever way is kind of tough, which is also got to be aggravating because now you're sitting there thinking and waiting and saying to yourself, you know, if I could have driven myself, you know, that kind of thing. But because he didn't have his limb and he needed to take the wheelchair, they had to have a wheelchair car. Yeah, full size van would be much better. They use the yeah, they use not even a van, a minivan.
Yeah,
You know, a compact van.
I actually have to duck to get into it.
Yeah.
And stay that way.
Yeah. He has to stay pushed forward so that he doesn't hit the ceiling, put his head through the ceiling. You know, it's all around it's aggravating, all around it's a pain in the ass. You know,
Depression is the worst.
yeah.
Nothing. No, not right now. I got some water up there.
But, you know, there is also that, because, and as a caregiver, you gotta worry about the person being depressed. You know, because that's a big part of it when you go from independent to not independent, no matter what level of dependency you're looking at. He's back. He.
Changing the subject, but I'm gonna say it anyways. We got a gift, I got a gift certificate for my birthday from
Artemis
Artemis
and Jay Reilly.
and Jay Lee. My memory is nothing, it's Swiss cheese. So this is what I got. I needed one and I got one for my husband. And I'm very, very happy. If you need
What
one,
she's
I'll-
talking about, because you didn't see it,
It's, oh, I'm sorry, the mouse.
is mouse.
Oh, you probably got your work.
She had it on the
Oh,
wrong
yes, I
side.
had it on the wrong side of the computer. It went in, it just didn't work.
So anyway,
So thank you guys very much. And for the little pictures I got to do.
Yep.
Diamond painting pictures. Oh,
the minis.
the minis.
Yes.
And for all the birthday wishes.
And the bird is singing. With you.
And Berta, oh my lord, my favorite.
She is here, but she's working, so she can't really type.
Oh, you got a good group of friends.
You're the best.
For the most part, we have 338. Those are our subscribers.
I think he meant they were good people.
You know, but they're good to everybody. So
That's true.
Oh, the same day and age, hard to find that.
it is, and even in this community, it's, you know, there's one or two that aren't the greatest, but this is a good bunch of people. Speaking of a good bunch of people, while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget, if you enjoy this once a month thing, please feel free to hit the like button. Maybe put down in the comments after the live when they pop up. You know, let us know what you think. Let us know you like it, you don't like it, something you'd like to see, something you'd like to know more about, anything like that. We'd be more than happy to do what we can to help you out. I always forget to hit like and subscribe. Just say hit like and subscribe.
Oh, I was-
Probably why we only have 338. Yep. See how you are? Can't even like on your own video. Yeah. No, she's still there. Well, no, I was just wondering if you left, Tammy. Who knows? She might have fallen asleep though.
Well, that wouldn't be there.
So does anybody have any questions for my brother? Apparently not. Apparently they know everything there is to know. It's not a bad thing.
They know everything they want.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. I pick on everybody, so, you know, just like my brother does. I'm just his favorite type.
I don't know, I think I'm a tie.
Hey. There you go. So anyway. All right, so what he said basically was, like I said, was the depression is the worst because I mean, let's face it, when you're waiting for the prosthetic in the first place, and you're waiting for the wheelchair, you got nothing. So you're just laying in bed all day. Because you can't really hop around on one leg. It's really hard to get up when you're trying to get up with one foot. You know?
And when they give you a giant sized wheelchair to
You-
use, it doesn't help.
They gave him what they call a bariatric wheelchair, which is about a size and a half of a regular wheelchair. He doesn't need that. But they gave it to him anyway. Because of the fact that what they were looking at was his old records when he weighed 300 pounds or close to it.
Over it. 300, 1.50.
350 at one point. So yeah, then he could have used it, but not anymore.
Like the whole 196.
Yeah, and she still weighs less than you.
There's 10 boys less than anybody in my life.
Yeah, I weighed, I forget what I said, what they said I weighed 240. I think. But at some point in time, I know that I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have to go through it at some point in time. The way this is turning out with me,
Let's hope not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yours is a different story altogether.
well, I'm not talking about just my foot.
What would you have?
Well, my back, the fact that I can't move my legs as well as I could. I get dizzy. I get, not dizzy, but off balance.
Off balance. I can understand.
All right. He may or may not be back. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Well, we won't wait. We'll
No,
just
we're
sit here.
gonna sit here.
Yeah, we're not going to sit here and not say something or not say nothing or however it goes.
You know what you just said.
I will say that it is something of a challenge when you deal with caregiving for a loved one because you don't want to push them, but you don't want to not push them. You don't want to cause more of a problem emotionally. But by the same token, you got to say what's what, you know? Just like I asked about his leg a couple minutes ago with what I saw in his leg. You don't really want to, if you hadn't noticed it, didn't know what it was, it was a oh shit moment. Do we have something new? But you have to say something because what if it was something you didn't know about and it was something detrimental? In this case, it wasn't, but and like I said, he knew about it and knew what it was. But when you're caring for a loved one, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge because they are a loved one. Now, I don't mean that negatively to professional caregivers. I know they care about their charges, and I know they, get emotional with their charges. They don't want to do something to hurt their charges, but it is still different than a professional will go through. Not worse, not better, but different. I want to make sure that's clear because I've said that before, and I've gotten comments saying, I'm a professional caregiver, and we feel just as, deeply about our patients, and it's like I understand that, but it's still different. So I want to make sure that's out in the open, clear. Not better, not worse, just different.
Like I said, with my good friend Phyllis, she did that for a living, but she was the most caring, giving person that you'd ever want to meet. years of fighting or from long years of loving the person, whatever, things are different.
Your history with an individual tends to change things up a little bit. You know, um, and like I said, it's not necessarily better or worse. It's just it is what it is. You know, and I don't mean any disparagement on anybody that does caregiver, whether it be professional or otherwise. You know, we've had them in here. You know, like the home nursing services, and the physical therapists. They're still caregivers.
Yeah, well.
You know, and they become friends. Excuse me, they become friends.
One of
Yeah.
the nurses we loved pieces, and I miss her.
Yeah. You know, you miss the people when they're not coming back anymore. You know, and she's so busy, it's not like she can just, hey, I just figured I'd stop in for a minute. You know, we wouldn't mind if she did, but you know,
She's got kids and a job, and you know, all kinds of stuff.
but we still, you know, I mean, so therefore there are feelings that come up and they're built up, but when they're already built up from having a relationship with them, that's why I say it's different. You know, I'm always afraid I'm going to hurt the caregiver's feelings when I say things like that. It's like, I don't mean it the way you took it, and I'm sorry you took it that way. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else to. Has anybody got anything to add? Anybody got anything to say? I'm just waiting because there might be a delay.
That's true.
Yeah, Morgan had asked when my surgery was. I told her it may have to be canceled.
I could.
I didn't know you heard.
Officially board people now.
No, you can go. That's fine. I know that. Oh no, we
If
brought
anybody,
people.
I was gonna say, if anybody's fooling, then it's us.
Yeah. The more serious ones that we do are not as interactive as the regular ones. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep, exactly, Animus. You know, and like I said, it's not, you know, better or worse. It's just different.
Judith,
Yes, Judith Hood. Judith Hood is the one that gave her the Christmas presents of the small diamond paintings.
Yeah.
All crystal. Okay,
right.
that's all. Leave it and we'll take it out at some point. Not a problem. Oh, sorry about that, people. My cat's bothering me.
You have to ask.
Yeah, well, yours is longer than that. I'm losing a lot of mine. If I had the same amount of hair as you did, that's how my hair would look.
You always said.
Not really.
Well, as long as I have known him, I've noticed his hair was longer than mine, so I have to go from my view.
Yeah.
He said,
His curls are actually worse than mine.
mm-hmm. You know that.
Yeah. But it's how I got slapped. I told somebody I was trying to get rid of them, cut them off, and the woman slapped me. You know how much money I paid for that? And I just looked at her and said, I don't care if you want to waste your money, that's your stupidity.
He's such a charming person.
Hey, you slap me, I'm gonna come back at you.
Okay, hold on, Tommy.
Okay.
Tammy says she admires your strength.
Yes, she does.
You do, but you're just starting to lose some of it.
Tammy, he said thank you.
Yes.
Look at you all.
Did say thank you. But he has gone, so it's just us.
How you doing, my Tammy?
There you go.
Oh. Thank you. Judith,
She loves your skin.
if you want me
That's all right. At this point now, it's more of a, has anybody got anything they want to add? Has anybody got anything they want to share? Any questions about caregiving or being a caregiver or anything like that? Well, you guys go ahead and ask that question. I suddenly have to get up and run. Well, at least once really, really fast.
Yes.
But I shall be back. And no, I don't have a microphone on, so you don't have to worry about hearing anything.
Oh, it's makeup, Judith. I hate to tell you. Well, some of it is, you know. But I try. But you try. And Jack is a very strong person. I don't think I do the same way with shoes, right? But we love him. I love my blood brother. So it's like an Indian, but we are. And we've been doing this for a while. I know a lot of you have too. Most of the time we have patients. I lost mine a week ago. It's back now. It wasn't fun losing it, to tell you the truth. I don't like that. But sometimes I guess you can't help it. Any of you lost patients? Please say yes. We escaped. Well, I guess we're not going to be talking anymore. If you have anything to say, you say it. Because Leon is not here with me, and I don't know what to do. Oh. And I am worried about his upcoming surgery. Yes, that's true. And I don't always do it. I do it as much as I can, but I am not a saint. Definitely not that. And I do have limits sometimes, but I don't like to get angry. That I just- However, I do try to do the best I can. Doesn't always work. But I think I've been doing caregiving since my mother had her last child, my brother Bob, who's 10 years younger than I am. And I almost became his mother. And now he thinks of me as that, besides his sister and his mother. So sometimes it's a long haul. And many of you have had long hauls like that. Well, if, I guess if we don't have anything else to say, unless you'd like to stay here and say goodbye to Lee, we can close this session. It's up to you. So if you come up with anything you want to say, please say it. Otherwise, you're free to roam around. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Lee.
I hear you got to talk for the night.
I didn't get him talking at all.
Oh, they're sitting there telling stories.
Artemis said, I told them that I had a bad week last week because I lost my temper.
Ah, yes.
And he said, yeah, life is like that. We just have to do the best we can with what we have at the moment.
Yeah,
And I just-
unfortunately, that's the other thing about caregiving. There are times when,
And I told him they could leave too.
oh, gee,
I said,
thanks. I
I
came
said,
back so they can leave.
no, I told him, I said, unless you want to stay here and say goodbye to Lee, but it doesn't seem we have a lot to talk.
I'll tell you what I was thinking. One of the things I noticed that, like in my father's case, for example,
Mhm.
At first he had a hard time accepting help from me
Mhm.
because of the fact that I'm his baby boy. You know, I was the youngest, so it was, you know, you need me for anything? No, your mother can take care of it. And then he shuffled me out of the room, whether it be his hospital room or his rehab room. Either way, it didn't matter. And then finally, one day, he realized, I'm not the little boy anymore.
And your mother couldn't handle a lot.
I think that came up when I actually argued with the,
I don't know.
no, not that one.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about when I had taken on an X-ray.
Oh.
One of the rehab people came in and said, well, we can't take you down an X-ray, so we can't determine how, you know, what this is and what that is. And I said, oh, yeah? And watch me. And I unlocked the bed because I knew where X-ray was because she worked in the hospital and I had been in that hospital for quite a few times for different things. So I took him down. I waited and then I brought him back. You know, and they're saying, well, you could have gotten in trouble. I said, yeah, bring it. Because I'm not putting up with it. If my father has someplace to go and he needs to get there to get tests done, then he will get there if I have anything to say about it. And I think at that point is when he finally decided, you know what?
You're grown up.
Yeah, maybe he can help take care of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was before a lot of the crap. You know, because because of the type of accident that he had a shattered shoulder, broken bone from his shoulder to his elbow that went vertically. And then he had some problems with his feet while he was in the hospital. So they kept doing skin grafts on his feet to try and get that covered up. And it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. But I kept having to wheel him around and take him around and do different things with him. You know? And he finally realized, yeah, I guess he can take care of me. You know? So there is that. when taking care of a loved one, especially a parent, it's not easy. Jack can speak on that too at some point. Yeah. But
It's good we recognize it. So, your father was always in charge.
yep, that he was. So it's just a matter of waiting until they realize that, oh, maybe they can do it. There's all kinds of pitfalls, all kinds of drawbacks, all kinds of positive stuff that comes from it. It's just a matter of what you put into it. My dad was a miserable person. Yeah, I can imagine it would be, Judith. You get somebody like that in your family, it's not easy at all, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Artemis. But, I think you do that most people do that for their relatives. Unless, of course, in Judith's case where it wasn't such a good uh, experience. But, you always have to advocate. When you see something going wrong, doesn't matter who it's with, you still got to open your mouth and say, you know what? They may not have a voice of their own, but I've got one. And I'm kind of a hard guy to ignore when I get going.
Not everyone knows how that's true.
Well, true. Not everyone knows how, but, like I said, I'm kind of a hard guy to get to know or I'm kind of a hard guy to ignore when I have something I want to say.
Yeah.
Trust me, you don't want to get on that side of me.
Trust me, he's telling you the truth.
Yeah. As you noticed, she didn't even argue with that one.
Mhm.
I can be a nice guy most times, but when you get the bad side of me opened up, yeah, you ain't closing that can of worms.
Yes, Tim, you're lucky with your family.
Yeah,
Very lucky. That makes me happy.
yep, you are very lucky, especially with your mother.
And your sister.
I just mean especially with her mother because she's elderly,
Mhm.
and yet she still does with Tammy what she needs to do with Tammy so she can do different things.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And like I said earlier, I told her Tammy was here. She's just deciding to stay in the audience today because she wasn't feeling too good. Yes, she is, honey. Yes, she is. And you can tell her I told you that too. Oh, wait a minute. Melanie.
Anonymous. Did you read that? What did you say?
That's one of those no shit things.
Yeah.
Never anyone from Mass
That
that was a pushover.
Well, I might be.
I was gonna say, when I'm advocating for one's for care and Mama Bear mode activates, hard to be ignored. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. You know, it's not, but it's not the side I like really.
Well,
I mean, I like it when I get results.
do you remember when we went to the hospital when they moved my mother without telling us?
Yeah.
And then we found her who had severe emphysema, among other things, without her oxygen, without any. I know what emphysema is different lung cancer and everything else, but she still needed the oxygen. And the doctor was standing there and I said, well, she said she didn't want it. I said, you always listen to your patients when you're doing your job as to what they want and what they don't want. Now,
What they need.
I'm not one to speak out, but I guess that mama bear came out in me, even though it was for my mother.
Yep,
And I
it
don't,
did.
and I don't have any kids, so. Well, I have my brother who is sort of semi-brother, half brother, half son.
Unfortunately, by the time the protective side got with something the hospital did, we didn't move fast enough, or we moved too late. Because they,
And I'm not Artemis, I'm not, well, if you get my Irish up, and I do mean that, if you get my Irish up, because my grandmother was born in Ireland, and my Indian, I can be pretty awful, but it takes me, I do a slow burn. I'm like my mama. Did you see what you did?
yes, it did.
You know, I'm just telling you.
I was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
You talked about your, huh? Remember, I have Irish and Indian too.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, no, as I was saying, is unfortunately there are times when you don't get the information fast enough to be able to do something about. And by the time we did in this case, it was too late. Because we brought her to the hospital for a hip issue. And while she was in the hospital, they took every one of her medications, took her off of them cold turkey, and put her on a whole new regimen of medicine without saying a word. And then by then, her system just couldn't handle it.
She went from being
Yeah.
able to keep a list of her own medications, know when she took them and everything, to not knowing a damn thing.
Right.
And that's what they did to her. By that time, it was too late. Although the nurse, because I worked for a nursing services company in New Hampshire too, a nurse that had been coming in to see her told me, Lenore, she's got more wrong with her than, you know, what we think she had wrong with her. She wasn't going to be, I knew she wasn't going to be around.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't, I know that, but I knew she was ready. She was more than ready to go, I think. But that didn't mean they did things right, and Lee is absolutely 100%.
Not only that, but if they found other things wrong with her that we didn't know about, that we should have been told.
She said she thinks, I think we knew about them, but it was just getting to, there was no getting any medication or anything for them.
So anyway, and she's probably right. You know, I'm not arguing it at all. Don't get me wrong. I just think that we could have done something, because that's the guilt in me anyway.
She didn't do anything wrong.
You know, but yeah, it wasn't great. You know, but that's okay. It is what it is. What it is, it was what it was.
I told you, not having to buy this wedding ring. You remember?
I told you it was poltergeist.
I was
They
not
took
told
it,
you.
made you panic, and then put it back.
Oh. It was God and Mom.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope, it was poltergeist. It was either poltergeist or it was my father pulling a prank.
Oh, it was not. He loved me too.
Yeah, but he loved to pull pranks.
Yeah, it was fun.
But sure. Yes, we do have some humor in here sometimes because it is such a serious subject. You know, and I could go on a lot about it if I prepared.
Yeah.
But I don't like preparing.
And Tammy, your mother is amazing.
Well, Well, you are right. Well, you are right. You could go down a rabbit hole with that, and the coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know. But it's over. It's done. You know, not like you can turn back time, as the song goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to either. Just like with Tammy's question, I wouldn't want to go back and change things. All her question said, and nothing changed. I wouldn't want to do that either.
Anonymous. I'm not scrappy in a fight. I'm stubborn. Big-headed, stubborn. When I get really, really angry, Lee will tell you. He turns around and walks away.
No, Rilla.
Yeah. I do too.
I just say my last words and then I shut up. And then she comes back out a few minutes later. Oh, you're still not talking to me? Why should I?
Hmm.
And then she gets started all over again. What? I'm picking on you. Leave me alone. No, me either. But yeah, and you are also right, Artemis. For your mental health, you really can't dwell on the past with a lot of things. You know?
We always have enough stuff to blame ourselves, so we don't have to do that past.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Would you like me to get you some lunch?
Lunch would be good. But before you get lunch, I suppose we ought to end this live.
Well, that was what I was thinking. And
I think she's saying we had plenty of time up here.
I mean, if you guys want to talk, you can still talk to him, but I'm gonna go get him something.
To eat. I don't know what. Okay. I'll take that.
You want to wrap it or go to?
Wrap it again.
That'll be the only one.
Oh well. So you'll get me the bigger one. So you get me the bigger wrap. Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
I'm just saying, I just checked that.
Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, good. That means I can throw her under the bus because she's not going to be here.
I wouldn't advise it.
It's funny. Do you see how short she looks sitting in that chair?
Because I am. I used
mean-
to be 5'10" and a half. Now 5'7".
But every chair you sit in, if I'm sitting next to you, even though the chair's at the same height, you look like you're a lot shorter.
Because you are a lot taller than I am. I love.
But
Excuse me. Trying to get by you.
uh-huh. Showing everybody your waist.
Oh, shut up. I'm not showing anything.
Yeah, I didn't say you were clothed. I just said they're showing you your waist. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this because nobody's responding. Nobody's talking that much. So I'm sure we have bored you all to Kingdom Come or something to that effect. We will see you on Tuesday, if not on somebody else's live over the weekend, like Rich's on Sunday. I mean, yeah, on Sunday. And Kara's on Monday, and maybe even Brandy's on Monday, because I believe Drawing with Spangler starts this Monday, but I'm not positive. So you'll have to find that out. But thank you very much for coming. Think of things that you want to find out about over the month, and we'll try to cover them next month. We, of course, will be doing the same thing. So everyone have a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Remember, don't fake it until you make it. Believe it until you receive it. I didn't like that saying. I don't know where I saw it from, but wherever it was, I didn't like that saying. But have a great week, everyone. Can't find the button. Where's the button? I know where some buttons are, but you know, my mouse isn't working, that's why. There's that one. Hey, now you can watch me struggle trying to end the line. Bye-bye.